A study has found the burden of mortgage debt is leading to mental distress for older Australians. The research from Curtin University has found almost half of 55 to 64-year-olds are still paying off their home. Professor Rachel Ongviford is the lead author of the study. She says in about 10 years' time, more than 500,000 older Australians will need rent assistance.
The average mortgage debt amongst older Australians has ballooned out by about 600% over the last 25 years. And one of the main drivers has been the significant rise in house prices. Over the long term, house prices have increased at a much faster pace than incomes, which means that people are having to take out higher mortgage debt to be able to get into home ownership in the first place. And they're also getting in later in life, which means they then carry their mortgage debt later in their life course as well. On average, mortgage debt to income ratios amongst older mortgagors are sitting at around 200%. So average mortgage debt is about double the annual income of older mortgagors. And this is quite a significant increase from, say, about 25 years ago when it was just sitting at about 70%. I think there are various strategies that older people are using. One is that people are expecting to work longer, and that's very logical because we're all living longer, so people are expecting to have longer working lives. I think the risk with that is that sometimes you fall into a situation where you have ill health or you may lose your job and find it difficult to rebound back in the labour market. So there are significant risks with relying on the assumption that we're all going to be able to work longer. But that is one strategy people are using. There's also a concern that people are expecting to just draw down on their superannuation savings to pay off their mortgage debt in retirement. What we did find in our research was that older mortgagors do have lower mental health levels than those who already own their home outright. So carrying a mortgage debt, and when you experience difficulty in making your mortgage repayment, your mental health levels do decline. And it's more severe amongst women than amongst men. The study that we conducted projected the number of older Australians who are likely to need rent assistance because they've suffered from mortgage stress and therefore tipped out of home ownership. And we find that by 2031, about 660,000 older Australians will be in need of rent assistance. So that's going to have significant implications for government. They're going to have to ensure that there's sufficient funding for older renters to be assisted through the Commonwealth Rent Assistance. I think if there's insufficient housing or insecure housing in the private rental sector to cope with people who are stressed falling out of home ownership, then I think homelessness, an increase in homelessness is actually a very probable outcome. And we also know that low-income people are eligible for public housing, but we're not building much more new public housing stock these days. So that's another issue as well, which can increase the risk of homelessness for old people.